You, because you're a veteran, you serve this country, you are a silent minority now. You have no say so of what this is what the Democrats. Now, I'm not saying this. This is what the Democrats is trying to indoctrinate in our kids in our schools now. That you, because you're a veteran, you are now considered a monster, a baby killer. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't. And then you got Mary Kay Letourneau. Remember her? Remember that she was a pedophile woman. They don't use the word pedophile. Here, we say the word pedophile. She was a pedophile monster. She had an affair with a student underage of 15 years of age, and they're saying that she passed away of cancer. It was coronavirus, actually. When they say when we have cancer, guess what? When you're a Christian, I'm a Christian. When we have cancer, now I consider that coronavirus. I don't understand this kind of logic anymore. This makes no sense at all whatsoever. Go ahead and wave in on that. Go right ahead.
Man, I don't really know much about her or much about what's going on with that. I just know there's a lot of Democrat leaders, that I can talk about that are disgusting.
Oh yeah.
I really don't know much about the subject you were talking about, but I do understand that they are. It's just, all the way back to Seattle, dude. You heard of Chop and Chaz, right? You saw what happened in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's her name? Jenny Kutcher or whatever.
You mean Jenny? I forget it. Jenny Durkin. Jenny Durkin. Jenny Durkin.
Yeah, that's it. Kutcher. She's a mayor
Durkin.
of Seattle, and yeah, I'll call her out. She's ridiculous. She has literally lost her mind. And this is a funny story I'm gonna tell you. Now, a lot of people don't realize this. So everybody saw that Antifa and Black Lives Matter and all these
terrorist groups
were taking over part of the city. So
everybody
else that wasn't involved was complaining and telling the mayor and trying to say, we need to clean this up.
Mm-hmm.
All she kept doing was getting on there saying, oh, it's about love and peace and all this stuff. Like, people are getting murdered. Teenagers are getting murdered. People are getting killed and raped and everything else, right? It's a big old stupid, terrorist group. And then guess what happened? Out of the blue, everybody's like, holy crap, the mayor decided to clean it up. Well, do you know why she really cleaned it up? Because they found protesters outside of her house, and all of a sudden she freaked out and said, oh, no, now they're coming to our neighborhood. We better do something about it.
Yep.
So until it actually affected her, she didn't care. She didn't care. And that's how the problem is with half of these stupid celebrities, half of these Democratic leaders. They don't care because it's not affecting them.
Right.
Nobody's throwing rocks to them.
Until it actually happens in like Nancy Pelosi just had Black Lives Matter, threw rocks at her window, and guess what? Now she's taking action. Now Nancy Pelosi finally taking action, but it's only when it affects them they take action. Have you noticed that? Only when it affects them it takes action.
I mean, who is so stupid that you cannot see the joke that Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and all these people are. If I would have been black, okay, when the situation happened with George Floyd, if I would have been an African American man in this country, or actually if I would have been African, I would have been so offended by the way they treated that situation, where they dressed up into the African garment of a slave owner and then turned around and kneeled like they're showing respect, like they're really. This is a joke, man. It's just like a circus we're watching, and people are falling for it. And everybody in the rest of the world is laughing at America right now, saying, what in the world? And everybody points their finger at Trump. Oh, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault.
Or Bush. Or how about Bush? They blame Bush, too. Remember that? They blame Bush for everything, too. Remember that?
This is insane, man.
They blame Bush for everything. Remember that? They blame Bush. They blame Bush for everything too. Remember the liberals blame Bush for everything. Remember that back in that 20 years ago. Remember they blame Bush for everything. The economy. They blame Bush for They blame Bush for having the home mortgage bubble. They blame Bush for having a bad economy. They blame Bush for having a bad education system. Now they're doing the same thing to Trump. They're blaming Trump on this coronavirus. They're blaming Trump on the Russian collusion. They're blaming Trump on everything, and nothing works.
But that's okay because I've never went. I told you last time we talked. I just recently really got into following politics. Obviously, the whole world has because
right.
The whole Trump election. But I served under Bush. I served under Obama.
Uh-huh.
You know, I really liked Obama. I thought at the very beginning when he first came in office, he seemed like a very intelligent man. I thought he was going to make changes, whatever. I never questioned his authority. I never questioned when he gave me an order to our unit to say we were deploying and doing what we had to do. We did it.
Right.
But what's really messed up is that even when you go all the way back, there's always been people that, you know, talk trash about a president. I remember seeing people talk trash about Obama. I see people talk trash about Bush.
Yeah.
Clinton. It happened. But I have never in my life seen the media and everybody else attack our president the way they have now, and this man still come out strong and still do everything he can do. When he was living in paradise, he was living in luxury. He had no reason to come and take this job.
Nope.
But he decided to do it, and this is how he gets because of a few things that he said that people took out of context.
Yeah.
Because they're so butthurt and so snowflakey that you have to be so political correct and watch what you say, and knowing damn well that if it's two Joes sitting outside talking, they would have said the same thing that he said. And I get it. You know, a lot of people are like, well, he's presidential. He shouldn't be like that. He shouldn't say things like that. You know, my wife, for instance, she's on the fence with Be Clean. She can't stand the way the liberal that, but she can't stand the rhetoric that Trump gets that starts going with the Twitters and stuff. So she's in between. But she understands that Trump is literally doing what he can to help our country.
Yeah. And
people just don't want to admit it. There's millions of black Americans out here that see the benefits of Trump. They see it. But you know what the problem is, man? It's not cool to vote for Trump. You know, to be anti-Trump, to be anti-American, it's a cool thing. It's trending in the high schools.
Yeah.
It's trending in the young generation. You know, if you're walking down the street and you got 15 guys walking with you in the street, you know, it's cool to be an anti-American and to do this. Not everywhere, but mostly in the inner cities, people are like that. It's trending. It's cool. Because you come out to where I live, out in the country, out in South Carolina, out in the places that, you know, that are what we call America. Yeah, you have those anti-Americans, but for the most part, most people support our country and believe it. And that's what I'm just getting at, man. If everybody would stand up together, all the blacks, all the whites, all the Hispanics for Trump, everybody that's for America, I don't care if you support Trump or not, but I'm sure you got to at least support our flag, at least support our Star Spangled Banner, at least you support not tearing down our monuments and erasing history. There's way more of us than there is of them, and for some reason we're getting beaten to the ground because nobody's standing up and speaking their point because they're too dang scared and they're too dang afraid of getting hurt.
That's why this network is here. This is why this network is here. This network is here for the people who this network.
Every single patriot American in this country needs to stand up and support the movement. You will not intimidate me. You will not intimidate us. Hashtag you will not intimidate us. And I seen that the other day on Facebook, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. It's a movement going around said, you will not intimidate us. And that's basically yelling to the Democrats saying, you can send your protesters, you can send your Antifas, you can send your Black Lives Movement, but you will not intimidate us to bow down and start kissing feet like I've seen some loonies do on videos.
And guess what? I actually put a hashtag out there, in God we trust. In God we trust. And you know what? I got so much hatred on Twitter just to say those words. So much hatred on Twitter, you will not believe it. I said, they said, you guys can say.
You wonder why Trump talks about banning social media. You wonder why he's saying that. Listen, I enjoy our freedoms. I am very thankful for social media. I think social media could be an amazing platform. But the problem is exactly what he's saying. There's way too much hate going on. There's way too much lies. There's way too much people, you know, putting fake news out there. You know, it's the people out here in this country that are destroying social media.
Absolutely.
And being allowed to have all the hatred and racism and all that crap that you see all over social media. You say in God we trust and you get a bunch of hate for it. Really? Why? Because all of a sudden you're not allowed to believe in what you believe in. You're not allowed to believe in a God. So what? You're supposed to turn around and say, oh, I don't believe in God, and now you get a bunch of love for it? That's stupid.
Yeah, it's like on the 4th of July, guess what I posted up? On 4th of July, I posted a Civil War picture. and Union Army, no less. Union, not the Confederate Army, Union Army. And I got attacked for doing that. I got attacked for being racist. I got attacked for being American. Oh, because because the Union Army was freeing the slaves, so I posted up a Confederate soldier, okay, a son of the Confederacy, a black African American, holding up the Confederate flag, and I got nothing, hate, no hate speech at all from Black Lives Matter, nothing. I got no hate for that, but however, I got attacked for the post of the Union Army. I don't get it. I don't understand this country anymore. I don't get social media. I don't understand social media.
Democratic leadership who are destroying this country, and unfortunately, the only thing we're going to have to do is vote. You're going to have to get out and vote. You need to inspire more people from here till November to get your followers to vote for Trump. And that's the only way it's going to happen, because even though we already know what's going to happen, right? We can already predict the future. I have very strong intuition, and I can already tell you, once Trump wins, it's going to be another 4 years of Democrats crying. It's going to be another 4 years of them trying to find some reason that he hacked the election system. Another 4 years of Nancy Pelosi crying. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just, it's really
insane
to see so many Americans that you know what the problem is? I'll be honest with you, man. This is something I've thought about, and I think this is the truth. I've been in the military. I was in the military for 9 years. I've been overseas. I've been in the Middle East. I've been in Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan. I've been all over Germany, Europe. I've been all over the world. And America is still the greatest country in the world. And the reason I say that is because we have so many freedoms that this is the problem. You're taking a bunch of privilege. You're talking about privilege, white privilege and this privilege. You're talking American privilege. You're talking about people that are even in poverty in this country don't even have it as bad as some places in Africa or some places in the Middle East. You don't have flies all over them, and they're dying of starvation, and they're on the street. You can see their ribs and stuff like that. We have welfare. We have food stamps. We have, housing allowance. We have so much stuff in this country. So you're talking about a bunch of spoiled Americans that really don't have no idea what it's like on the other side of the world, and they're complaining about how bad this country is. They're complaining about how bad our law enforcement is. Our law enforcement is literally dragging you down the street, beating you with a water hose or beating you with sticks and hanging you up in a tree and all this other crazy stuff that happened things have changed, man. Most people don't think this way anymore.
Well, I have a question for you. I got a question.